Pressure 6117, 21 climbing 5,000, runway heading.
Shuttle 6117, Des Moines departure radar contact. Turn right heading 180, climbing maintain 10 Alpha.
And right heading 180 up to 10,000, shuttle 6117.
November 26 Lima Mike, cleared to Pella Airport via direct KLAN direct. November 26 Lima Mike, car KLAN at or above 4,000 cleared. Runway 16 airport. Shuttle 6117, turn right, direct Omaha VWAR.
Right direct to Omaha VWAR, shuttle 6117.
Departure is Skyro 6409, 1800 from 5000.
Skyro 6409, Des Moines departure radar contact. Turn right heading 180,
Return 180, 10,000, Skyro is 6409.
Shuttle 6117, contact Minneapolis Center, 119.
19-6, shuttle 6117.
Turn right direct Omaha VWAR.
Right turn direct Omaha, Skywiz 6409.
Yo, what up, Caleb? Welcome in everyone else. Yes, sir, we are in the TBM again, doing some more flights. This time we're doing an angel flight here to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's where we're going. But today we're in November 850 Romeo Papa TBM. We're in Omaha, Nebraska. And we're taking 3 people with us on this flight to Milwaukee. Gonna be cruising at flight level 200 today. We are expecting to go through some trace to moderate ice on the climb out. And I believe the icing should start around 11,000 feet up to maybe, I think 20, no. Ooh, if it is, hold on, let me see. Actually, we may still end up in icing, but it's around 11,000 up to probably 20,000. We're going up to 20,000, so we'll keep an eye on our ice. We're going to verify, make sure our ice knee boots do work on the ground before we fly out in this weather. So yeah, this is an Air Care Alliance mission through Sand Tensions. So yeah, pretty excited to do another one of these, but also get to do it in a TBM. Flight time is about 1 hour and 50 minutes is what we're looking at. And we'll be at cruise for maybe 40 minutes, and then descending into Milwaukee. As you see, it's pretty overcast and nasty looking here in Omaha right now. Got some aircraft landing. The plan is to take off runway 14 left and go from there. So yeah, hopefully we have no issues. We have a good flight. Everything goes to plan, and we can get out of here just fine. So let's hop in, get things going. As you see, we are at Signature FBO. We'll be going to Signature FBO in Milwaukee as well. And again, this is a real non-profit organization, the Angel Flight Central. The donation for the website and such, it ought to scroll through the chat so you guys can see it if you care to go to at least visit the website, see what it's about, and if you care to donate to it, definitely do so. And that's what we're doing here today through Say Intentions. Air Care Alliance is the Angel Flight Central flight is what we're doing to transport a individual to Milwaukee for their and it's also in the description. But the mission detail is Ting Parker is traveling with Peter and Gary to Milwaukee for a critical medical appointment at a specialty clinic. And the journey is essential for Ting ongoing treatment, and the team is optimistic about the positive impact of this visit. Now, this particular situation, I don't know if it's real, but it's kind of the senses of what Angel Flight represents, of trying to get people to places they need to get to in a more private manner versus them spending a ton of money jumping on an airplane that they may not have to try to get to these places to get the best treatment possible. So again, it ought to scroll up through the chat where you guys will see the website, the donation, and if not, it is also in the description of the video. So yeah, welcome in. Let's get going. We'll hop in the aircraft, start getting things going, and try to get out of here on time. We actually were supposed to leave about 15, maybe 6-7 minutes ago. So let's hop in, get things going, and try to get out of here. Let's go back here, close this door. We'll say they're on board already. Push that button there, get the door to close, top back to the front seat. Get my door closed. I'll get the chocks removed, and the ground crew will remove the external GPU. But for now, let's get crash bar up. We'll set that to auto. We're going to set this to GPU. We're going to at least pick up our, let's get all of these on. As you see, it's kind of dark out here. Get some lights on here. We shouldn't have any problem getting things started. Let's see how much is power's not bad. Again, we'll be starting it off the APU. Let's get radio master on. It's 47 degrees outside. Get that. Let's get EFIS on. We can get all this on since we're starting from a ground power unit. We'll wait for that to come up and we'll test it. In the meantime, though, let's test a few other things. We don't need that on. That's fine. Test. Good. ITT test. We got the ITT light on. That back off. Test anti-ice. Test the ice props. All of these on. And we got lights extinguished. Lights will all come back up. We get them all back on the enunciator panel. Test, test. Good there. We'll go ahead and test autopilot. It'll run its test. Let's see, that'll stay where it's at. We've tested our units over here, minus the terrain radar. We'll test it again shortly. A test on that, all those lights light up. That test out good. On the test there. All right, again, we are going to be climbing to 20,000 feet, so we'll get this set to 200 on the cabin pressure. Get that on, okay. Let's test our overhead lights. Lights good. All right, I think that's all our annunciator light. Actually, we got to, let's test the, oops, wrong one. One and two, handle good. All right, all tested there. Let's get flaps down. All right, flaps are fully down. We're getting nose baggage door closed. Almost forgot about that. All right, so as we see, we're going to be gross weight 7,200 pounds today. Just under max takeoff weight. We're taking 1,620 pounds of fuel, which will give us enough for an alternate and plenty more after that. Now our payload weight today, I believe, is about 840 pounds. As you see, myself, the other three, these are their weights, and aft bags and forward in the forward, and we're right on the money of CG as well, so that's good. Let's swing this guy over here. And again, all circuit breaker lights. I probably should check that first before turning on all this stuff. That's that. Let's import our flight plan. Import it. All right, we got it loaded. And we're going to contact, let's pull up a chart. Actually, before we do that, let's go over some checklist items. Make sure we're good there. All right, pre-flight, crash bars up, source selector was off, generator is on main now, starters off, ignition's auto, exterior lights are on as needed. Gyro instruments are on now, they were off. Again, still got to figure out what the emergency test light is. Oh, also we didn't check the horn. Let's check the horn. Alright, horn works. Let's get oxygen on. We don't forget those. Circuit breakers are in. DI switches were off. Landing gear is in a down position. Set this back to fuel. And that is still, that's actually on now. Looks like it's already been good. We'll test it once we get the airplane on. Radio master was off. Bleed air is off. Air conditions off. Dump switch is guarded. Ram air handle is pushed in. Got the auto fuel set to manual. Boost pump is off. Tank selectors on left tank. Let's cycle it. Make sure it works. Pop it out. Switch to off. All the way back around. Make sure it operates like it's supposed to. Alright, it's back on left tank as well. ELT is armed. What time is it? It is. So normally you can test the ELT. Make sure it's working at the top of every hour within the first 5 minutes. If you wanted to hear it. There it goes. That's what it would sound like. Which also best means of testing it as well. If your ELT is sounding off, have the frequency set to 121.5 and you'll be able to hear it. If you are hearing it, it's either yours or maybe somebody else's around you. Alright, parking brake is set. Manual override lever is off. Power level is flight idle. Prop is, we'll send it up It's in feather mode. We'll put it max. Additional lever is cutoff position. Flap control was up. It's now in the down position. Battery bus check supply. We're over 28 because we're on. Actually, we can check the battery. Yeah, it's a little low, but it'll charge up like it's supposed to. Set that to main. Source select. Volts are above 25. Exterior lights panel test we already did. Fuel gauge is checked, just right here. Looks good. We've tested the auxiliary lights here as well. Oxygen annunciator light is out. Interior lights are set. Environmental lights tested as well. That was this one, the light test. That's tested and checked. Flaps are down now. Landing gear panel light test. We've tested it. Pitot 1 and 2. We did turn those on to make sure the lights extinguished. They did. Back on because we have them off. That's checked. And off the ice panel. We did test that as well. Source selector was off. We're good there. Alright, before starting the engine, pre-flight inspection completed. Nose baggage door is closed. Engine compartment is closed. Cabin access door is closed and locked. My door is also closed and locked. Parking brake is still set. Seats and seat belts are good. Oxygen pressure tested. We should be like right around 1500. We're slightly below it, but we still have plenty. What is that airplane doing? How did it get there? Let's have that rerun that. Oh, that's actually a live one, but it doesn't have a livery assigned to it. Alright, oxygen supply is on. Passenger is on as well. They got the microphone setup. Starter is off. Ignition's auto. Landing gear is down again. Radio master's on. We'll pick up our clearance and everything as well. Source selector's on GPU. Tested the horn. Door annunciator light is out or extinguished. Fuel gauge is checked. Auto fuel selector will go to auto. And we'll set that to on. Shift. We'll test that and you'll see that it's going to switch the selector there. Down there. That button does that. It works. Alright, auto, and it's extinguished. We did push the shift button, make sure it's good. Instruments are good. We did the ITT test already and released. All squared away. External lights are set. So we're not going to start running off the battery. We're going to run it off the GPU. So let's go down to that checklist. One more. And start GPU. Manual override still off. Flight level, idle, prop, max RPM. Condition lever is cut off. Source selectors on GPU and annunciator light is illuminated. We see it there. Battery off. Annunciator light is off. Oh no, it's actually on. Illuminated. My mistake. We're at 28 or above. Auxiliary boost pump is set to on. And the light is on as well. Fuel pressure annunciator light is extinguished. Fuel pressure is in the green. Ignition set to auto. We'll get the starter on shortly. For now, let's get our clearance before we even start the airplane. Let's go back to charts here. Let's have MKE there. We need Omaha. Let's get that going. Full screen. Alright, ATIS is 20.4. Let's get that up. That's right, 20.4.
Aero 52 Zulu.
Okay, there we go.
Arriving and departing runways 32 left, 36, 32
That's not
right.
true.
Wind 150 at 5. Visibility 7. Overcast at 1400. Temperature 8. dew point 5. Altimeter 3003. Density altitude 200 feet. Helicopter operations in
003, is this
progress.
true?
Maintain awareness in the vicinity.
Yeah, that's right.
Advise on initial contact. You have
They're definitely not
information
taking
Bravo.
off from 1-4, so I'm gonna fix that in
Epley Airfield. Information Bravo. 2052 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 32 left,
yeah, that's right.
36, 32 right.
Alright, that's incorrect though. We're not gonna utilize that. Let's switch this to
T-wind
121.
150 at 5. Visibility 7. Overcast at 1400. Temperature
Jeez,
8,
bro.
dew point 5. Altimeter 3003. Density altitude.
Alright, we'll set that to that for now. Let's see. They do PDC. 19900. Switch that on. Grounds 21.9. Wrong thing, didn't mean to transfer it. And we get tower all of that up. Departures 3587. Interesting. It said it's 34 and some change. But let me see something here. That one's not coming up. Let's see. Why isn't that scrolling through the chat? Let me see something too here. Give me just a moment, guys. Go back to there. All right, so let's see now. All right, we're gonna call and pick up our clearance for compassion flight. Actually, let's also do this. 2111. So you guys can hear the mission as well. From SkyOps. Let's switch over radio to there. Hello, Sky Operations, Compassion Flight 5129. What's our mission today? See if they give it to us. They should. Oh, I'm on one number off. My bad. It's 22. All right. Hello, Sky Operations, Compassion Flight 5129. What is our mission today? How do I keep getting the numbers wrong? Geez, that's quite a bit of practicing and keep getting the numbers wrong. All right, 2211. That's what it's supposed to be. Let's try it one more time. Hello, Sky Operations, Compassion Flight 5129. What's our mission today?
Angel Flight to Milwaukee, IKO Kilo Mike, Mike Kilo. 3 passengers, Ting Parker, Peter Smeltzer, Gary Durbin. Medical appointment mission.
All right, copy that. We'll keep you updated along the flight. Thank you.
Copy. Update as needed.
All right. Put that back there. Let's get this back to the ATIS. We'll need it again before we get rolling. 24-20-400. All right, we got the ATIS back on standby. We're on Omaha clearance. All right, let's pick up our clearance. Hello, Omaha clearance delivery, Compassion Flight 5129, IFR to Milwaukee.
I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
Jeez, that's loud. There we go. Let's get this ready.
Compassion 5129, guard cleared to Milwaukee. Radar vectors OVR, then is filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 20010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.5, squawk 2365.
Enter. All right, cleared to Milwaukee via radar vectors OVR. Then is filed. Climb, maintain 5,000. We'll expect flight level 20010 minutes after departure. Departure's on 24.5. Squawk in 2365. Compassion Flight 5129. All right, so we got that in. That said, we got 5,000 set. We'll arm it. Also, let's turn on the autopilot. Test it. Flight director, heading mode. Alright, yoke is turning with the heading indicator. And opposite. And vertical speed. Let's go to it. See if it'll start pulling back on the nose there. On the yoke, should start rolling back. And let's kill the autopilot. Alright, that works. Went back to set for that. I'm going to set this 1,500 feet. That in, we're going 5,000 feet initial. Alright, we got our clearance now. Let's get ready to go. Let's switch back to 1 for that. Wait a minute. They shouldn't have given us that. We just did that on guard frequency. It wasn't even. Let me do that again, because I don't want it to give me the wrong thing. Alright, now we're actually on the right one. Hello, Omaha clearance delivery, Compassion Flight 5129, IFR to Milwaukee. Just want to make sure it gives it to us from the right frequency, so it logs it properly on the flight log. Yeah, we shouldn't have got anything when we just. Why would anybody on guard give us a clearance? That's terrible.
Compassion 5129, Omaha clearance cleared to Milwaukee. Radar vectors OVR, then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000.
That's pretty much the
flight
same
level
thing.
20010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.5, squawk 2365. And we had to change your departure runway to 36.
Nah, we're not taking that. I forgot I needed to go in here and change this because they're not taking off on the 36s. The weather's the winds aren't calling for it, but also they aren't doing that in the real world, so we're not going to do it. We'll take off on the runway that they're actually taking off on, since we do use we are using the real world traffic, so for me it's got to be correct. Compassion Flight 5129, unable to accept the clearance. We'll call you back.
Stand by, you're number 1.
Nope, that's not what I. Yo, come on. Alright, let's get started.
Compassion 5129, stand by, you're number 1. Expect runway 36.
And clearance delivery, Compassion Flight 5129, cancel our request for clearance. Alright. Everything is set to there. Everything's ready to go.
5129, request for clearance canceled.
We'll call it again here once we get the airplane on. Let's get that off. That's already off. Yeah, we'll start with everything because the GPU is on, so. Alright, let's get the starter on. We'll pay attention, make sure we don't get a hot start. As well, we'll be watching the ITT. Our NG at 13%. We'll introduce fuel and go from there. So, starter engage. Get taxi light on. Actually, that ain't gonna work. We don't need that on. Alright, there is 15%. Engine idle low. Alright, ITT rising. And make sure we don't get a hot start. Alright, we peaked out there at about 8:15 and it's rolling back. 52%, we'll go starter off. Coming up on 50 now. And there's 52, starter off. That checks out. Alright, engine instruments all look good and stable. Ignition lever low idle. Again, plus 870 for 20 seconds max. Plus 1000 for 5 seconds max if it went that high. Otherwise, we kill the power. All the condition lever sets off. All pressure light and annunciator light is off. That checks. Source selector going to battery. That's good. Alright, let's put the prop to feather. So I gotta be able to again disconnect the GPU. Prop lever is feathered. GPU will get it disconnected here. And as you see, it looks like this isn't even spinning, but it's actually still spinning very fast right now. Alright, they can disconnect the external power. That's disconnected now. Starters off auto, we're on main power. That's all set. We'll turn the hold on, did it disconnect? Alright, it did. Turn taxi light on. Alright, bring the prop back to max. Alright, and then we'll go condition lever to high idle. Max, high idle, engine instruments checked. We verified everything is still good in the green. Boost pump going to auto. That's already on auto. We can turn bleed air on now to auto. We'll set that to auto and on. And we'll get the temperatures up here in the cabin for us. And lights out. We'll get pitot 1 and 2 on. We are going to take off with the it's 48 degrees out. Let's put that on 9. We'll take off with prop de-ice on. Let's get inertia separator on as well. We can get that on. Alright, temperatures are coming up here in the cabin. Set this to GPS. Alright, all we got is parking brake on at this point. We're good there. Alright, fuel pressure annunciator light is extinguished. Manual generator will, well, the light is extinguished. Voltmeter is good. Ammeter's charging. Verify that depth. That's good. Go to standby generator. Test that. And we got main gen, light and low voltage. Released. Go back to main. Alright, that's good. Next, after start, gyros are on. Suction's in the green and good. Cylinder looks better. Alright, we'll check the A to see if it really has gotten better out here. Let me do a refresh on the weather though. Slave is set, master on, prop de-ice checked in green. We're good there. Windshield's on. That's on. Alright, actually no, I don't know why that updated like that. That wasn't correct. We'll test the de-ice. See, I don't think there's anybody behind us. There isn't. Let's go up. And then we'll set it for takeoff flaps here shortly. Let's see. Let's turn that off. Instrument lights come up. Get that stuff on. And let's test the de-ice. I always like doing this part. So let's bring NG up to 80%. 80% of NG power to really get that bleed air pressure up so we can test the de-ice boots. Alright, there's 80%. Alright, let's test it. We're gonna flip the switch up, check the light on the left for the outboard and then inboard de-ice boots. As we see, there they are. Light will go out, they deflate, inwards will inflate as the others deflate. We're good there, it'll deflate. Let's make sure the light goes out. Goes lights out, and we got deflate. That's the cycle. Alright, engine back to engine idle. Airframe de-ice, good. Off, inertia separator is on, ammeters are below 50. Generator, we did the standby check, volts was 28 or less. Zero charging, generators on main, flaps indicated all the way up. Now let's set them back to takeoff flaps. We're good there, flaps. Bleed air is auto, fan is auto. Air conditioner is on, temp is set. It is 64 degrees in the cabin now, and increase in cabin altitude is set for what we plan on it being at. PSI is 0, altitude we're at sea level pretty much. Weather radar is on, SS off, but we got it on. EFIS master's on, good. Autopilot trim, master set. HRS is set to the left. Let's get this set so I can see fuel flow. 27 gallons right now. Electric trim, we tested it. I will test it now. Down, up. Let's get this in the green though. We'll split the difference there. We'll go right there. Alright, we got takeoff flap set. Taxi light is on. Inertia separator is illuminated. Parking brake, we'll release it shortly. We're gonna call back and get our clearance again here. And go from there. Alright, let's call clearance delivery back. Yeah. Hello, Omaha, clearance delivery. Passion flight 5129, IFR to Milwaukee.
Stand by, you're number one.
Got FlexJet back here.
Compassion 5129 cleared to Milwaukee. Radar vectors OVR. Then as filed.
It's not
Climb and
giving
maintain
VR.
5000. Expect flight level 20010 minutes after departure. Departure on 1.
We got the same thing again, but I'm gonna say we expect runway 14
runway
left.
36.
And why is it? Yeah, that runway's closed actually. Alright, cleared to Milwaukee via radar vectors OVR. Then it's file, climb, maintain 5000. Expect flight level 20010 minutes after. Departures on 24.5. Squawking 2365. We expect runway 14 left. Compassion flight 5129.
Compassion 5129.
7 miles from Mary, turn left heading 080.
Alright, so that's what we'll do. We'll taxi 14 left. We'll request that from ground when it's time to go as well.
3000 or above to the interceptor. We're cleared the ILS 05
Just make sure everything shows up that we need to show up. North up, we're good there. We got wind showing there as well. Traffic, let me see. I feel like I'm supposed to see. Thought I had it set up to see traffic on the ground as well. Options. Yeah, I do have it set. Alright, flight plan. Let's look at the preview. Alright, so we're Omaha to Milwaukee. Our route is OVR, which is what we'll get radar vectors to. Then Zemet. Arrival, we're doing Ojeka, Ali, Yetsu. Whiffy, K-Pack, Zorro, leader. We're planning for runway 07, I think it is 07 right, for the arrival. So let's go back. Let's look at the charts. We're not doing a departure out of Omaha. KMKE checks out.
118.3, 10-4-0532.
Alright, so again, the plan is 07 right. That's what they're landing in Milwaukee right now. So that's what we'll plan for, 07 right. We'll be parking up north here at Signature FBO up north. So we'll have a little bit of taxi. So the plan is to land 07 right, definitely be off the runway before Echo or by Echo. So we got a straight taxi to the north. And only got to cross these two runways to get to the ramp. That's the plan. Actually, I need to stay here. Nope. Split. Let's go arrivals. Go pack 3. I need to check, make sure we actually have that set up. Yeah, we do. It does have it in there. Alright, so we don't got any altitude restrictions. We do got speed restrictions, which we won't be. Let me see. We might can hit 250. We'll keep power full go. We probably can do that. Go pack. Milwaukee's there. Be pretty much a straight in approach for 07 right from where we'll be coming in from. Let me see. Yeah, we got the arrival in there. All right. We'll get the. We'll add the approach for there as well. ILS 7 right. That's only vectors. All right, that's cool. We'll load that in too while we're on the ground. All right, our flight plan is solid. Map. Actually, let me turn traffic on over here too. This thing never has traffic active. Yeah, see there it says off. It should be on. Now we have, for some reason, the 530 controls whether we actually see the traffic. So there you have it. You should see traffic on the ground here too. So you got traffic out there. But yeah, they're definitely landing the 1-4s right now, so we're going to plan for that. If I wasn't using real world traffic, that'd be a different story. You know, we'd deal with that at that point, but all is good. Why is beta on? It shouldn't be on. Just out of it. It's been working fine without the beta being active. All right, let's test terrain. It's the only one that hasn't tested. Direction will be 358. We're going to set heading right now for runway heading. Of course, we'll get set shortly.
Identify, maintain 10, 10,000, turn 247.
247, radar contact 2 miles south, Queens Airport, clear to file.
Clear to file, turn
I never noticed my heading is in amber down there at the bottom. I never noticed that. Set 140. Alright, we're set there. And this boat doesn't work. None of these. Wish arc worked. That would be pretty cool.
247, traffic
Back there sets, of course, would be 358. Oh, of course it doesn't work because we're not in heading like VOR mode or anything. So that doesn't do anything. Alright, that automatically sets up with the GPS. Alright, that already did its test. Let's test the...
delay for the RNAV runway 5.
There's our sounder from when we have met the DH. Let's see if it shows. It does show.
Delay above 3,000, clear for the straight in RNAV
Nice.
for runway 5.
Alright, let's get ready to roll. We already got clearance. We're good there. Let's get tower up.
That's the
Which
RNAV
is-
4769.
Tower's going to be 32-1.
RNAV runway 5, approach, Scout 4769.
4769, advise AF Foxtrot.
Alright, we'll pick that up, Scout 4769.
Thank you.
And then they gave us the... Oh, it did give us this departure, 3587. Alright, we'll get that at the old shoot.
500.
Let me see something here.
0441 Echo.
That's forward, 441 Echo looking for an IFR to Oscar Foxtrot.
We'll do our run up here on this ramp. We'll turn out of the almost facing outward, so we got a little bit of distance between the FBO here and our power that we'll be running it up to. So let's go back to here for our run up checklist. We'll test those things there. Alright, we got lights on. Nav strobes are off. We're good up top. Let's go brakes off. My brakes.
Good with 10,000, 405.
Let's get taxi in here.
CFR 357 kilo, thank you.
Kind of swing around, probably get in front of that gate there on 1. Do our run up out there at the whole short area.
12565, Fairness 247.
4 Echo, radar contact. 3 miles northwest Ames Airport, 1 off number 3002, stay out.
Yeah, 4 I could just pass through 5,500.
Let's see, we'll get right here with it. Hopefully we don't throw any rocks off the ramp into those cars back there.
Alright, 4 Echo clear to the Oscar Foxtrot Kilo and filed up to 10,000.
Is that WestJet?
4 Echo, contact Minneapolis Center 134.0.
340, we'll see you, 4 Echo.
It's Eastern, is that Eastern? Eastern Airlines, that's who that is. Alright, we're still on the ramp, short of the ramp. Let's get parking brake set. Light annunciator comes on, that's all still golden. Alright, we'll check the toe brake and such. We'll check that stuff on taxi out. But our HSI is lining up with the compass there, that looks good. Brakes do work, we did stop. We'll recheck the turn coordinator and such at that point. Let's go before takeoff, parking brake set, terrain already tested. Warning test, power level, we'll bring it up to 1900 on the RPM. We'll check the prop and then we'll do the governor test. Set that to flight time. Alright, that's good. Alright, we're around 19. Alright, 1900, let's cycle the prop. So we get a drop in prop, increase in torque. ITT increases, oil level, oil pressure drops. Go back up. ITT decreases. And ITT climbs because when we're feathering the prop, now we don't have any air flowing through the inlet. So ITT is going to rise slightly, as it did, and we'll cycle it one more time. All the winds deflected off to the left and right at that point, not down, not slipstream of the aircraft. All right, back forward, we're good there. And we'll test the prop governor. We're looking for that to drop from 1900 to 1800, and it does. And we'll release it. And let's go back up. Why did they go down? Way the hell down. Alright, engine idle. Set, tested. Good. Flight idle. Got no fuel imbalance. It looks good. Auto selector is auto. Boost pump is auto. And flaps are set to takeoff flaps. Pitot 1 and 2 are on. Lights are extinguished. De-ice, we'll get prop de-ice on just during takeoff. Inertia separator is on. Advisory panel all off except parking brake and inertia minus the beta for mine. I think that might have something to do with again my flight controls, but all's good. Engine instruments checked and good. Flight controls. Left up, right down, right up, left down. Do aft check, forward, rudder right and left. All set on flight controls check. Ammeter's good, trims adjusted. Yep, it's right where it needs to be still. Parking brake released. We get strobe lights on, that'll all be at the hold short. Alright, we're on ground frequency already and towers on standby. Alright, my brakes. And Omaha ground, Compassion Flight 5129, we're at signature ramp, ready to taxi runway 14 left.
Price up to 2086, 11-7 for 11,000 with Foxtrot.
2861, approach about 3640.
3640 is up to 20.
Short of runway 18, then Zulu.
Alright, runway 14 left via Lima 3, Lima. Hold short runway 18, then Zulu. Compassion Flight 5129. Alright, so we'll be going out Lima 3 here, pretty much where we are.
Tower 83 sky was
That's Lima 2, we'll make the right on Lima here. Hold on, it says Lima 2, it should be labeled Lima 3. That's what it should be. Next, that's within the ramp. Yeah, if we go back that way, yeah, so we'll go out on Lima 2 here. Is what it says, and then Lima. Take Lima all the way around, hold short of 18 as he told us, and then they'll clear us across. All right, my brakes, let's get rolling. All right, we're clear left and right. Got taxi light on. We're good there. Clear left. And right turn. HSI is turning with the compass. It's aligned with the compass. Our turn coordinators turned with the turn. We go left. The white box there slides back across to the left. That will be the airplane on the turn coordinator. And our inclinometer, the ball there is going opposite of the turn. That checks out. We'll check right toe brake good, left toe brake good, all squared. And we got the standby artificial horizon running on the vacuum pump. If we didn't have this on board as well as the other one over here, we wouldn't even need a vacuum pump. Vacuum pump is just for that. Got a little bit of a taxi to go here. All right, make sure we can hear him. Alright, yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate you being here. Try to get out of here and keep it rolling for us. Already passed up the terminal, which is back there. And there's a couple of Southwest airplanes out there on the ramp. He ought to give us clear to cross when we get up here. That was another one of the great updates from Sand Tensions. Coming up on Zulu here. Where'd the airplane go? How'd he disappear?
Compassion 5129, cross runway 18.
All right, crossing runway 18 on Zulu, Compassion Flight 5129. All right, clear left and right. Yeah, it sucks he disappeared. Let me see. Let me make sure the weather. That was what we were gonna check. Let me look at that real quick. Let's get strobes and such off, off, off. Strobes off. We're clear on the other side. Let's do this. That. No, not that. Nope, not that either. Here. Split. Airport. Nope, not that one. What was it? Oh no, I don't want Milwaukee. This is the one, but we need to pick where we are. I guess I gotta type the whole thing in. KOMA. Get the ATIS directly on here. Weather. Alright, 300, southeast 140 at 6 knots, viz 8 statute miles, overcast 2600, reported AGL. Made it with precipitation sensor, encoding, sea level, everything. Yeah. Yep, that's what we're looking at. I don't get to get NOTAM information, but it is what it is, I guess. Alright, let's go back to map here. Go out. Alright, let's get up here. Alright, so they're not. Actually, we'll hold here because I think technically they would be shooting ILS right now still. Alright, let's see. Let's get out of here. Switch over to tower. We had, let's see, what was the frequency there? They gave us 3587. Put that on standby now. How did chat disconnect? Looks like we may have dropped bit rates for a little bit. Alright, if you lost connection, we should be back with this now. Alright. And tower, Compassion Flight 5129, holding short runway 14 left, ready for departure.
Compassion 5129, Omaha Tower, runway 14 left, winds 140 at 6. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Alright, copy the winds. Clear for takeoff, runway 14 left, fly runway heading, Compassion Flight 5129. Alright, let's go, guys. We got nobody on final. Alright, get property ice on. We'll go ahead and get ice light on as well. Lights up. Strobes on. Again, we're climbing to 5,000 feet. Our approach in is clear. Oh, the ILS hold short was way up here. Interesting. Looks clear. Got the airplane took off on 14 right there. All right, approaching. Again, it's clear. We have 1-4 left identified at the whole shore. We also see it on the pavement. Runway's clear. Departure in looks clear, minus that southwest that's climbing out, or whoever that is that's climbing out. We have them in sight, though. All right, let's set power to 100. All right, torque is at 100%, and airspeed's alive. Engine instruments are all still in the green. Everything's still stable. There's 85 and rotate. All right, wheels are stopped. We'll hit the brakes. Bring the gear up. Right above 122, flaps coming up. Still runway heading. Yaw dampener going on. Taxi light off. Gonna pitch up a lot higher than what we're pitching for.
129, contact departure.
Over to departure, compassion flight 5129. Hello, departure, compassion flight 5129, passing 2.5, climbing 5,000.
Compassion 5129, Omaha departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 200, vectors to OVR, then on course.
All right, climb, maintain, flight level 200, and we'll wait for vectors to OVR, compassion flight 5129. All right, let's set that to 200.
Compassion 5129, roger. Maintain flight level 200, vectors to OVR coming shortly.
All right, so we maintain runway heading here. All right, let's set heading mode. Flight director, autopilot on. We're gonna set to 850 mode. And we're gonna climb via airspeed. Set power to 121. Really get the climb through here. Picking up any icing at the moment. Passing 5,000. I don't know what cloud bases were. I didn't get to pick that up to report it to them, unfortunately. Because we're going through possible icing. Alright, pressurized. Cabin is pressurized and climbing. We're good there. Climbing at 140. Blazing. Let's do checklist. Alright, on, good. Takeoff, good, 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 good. Weather's there. Landing lights are on. Conditions good. Interior lights, cabin, transponder set. Altitude reporting. Released. That's all checked off. Lights are still on. Oh, this is beautiful. We're in between layers right now. It's currently 2 Celsius. We got all anti-ice equipment on. Alright, climb checklist, landing gears up, flaps retracted. Power level is checked, we're good. Just got inertia separator on just because we're climbing through possible ice conditions. get that going. We're getting good climb power and everything, so we'll leave the inertia separator on until we're above these icing conditions. All right, we'll do 8,600. Differential is good, temp's good. Verify, yeah, 70 degrees. Let's turn it up a little bit more. Quantity check, de-icing, good. Inertia separator still on. And next checklist, we haven't got to that yet. Just keep climbing on course right now until he gives us otherwise. And roger that, compassion flight 5129. Alright, passed through 10,000. We're not picking up any icing so far.
Compassion 5129, copy.
Alright, through 10,000, we'll get lights off. Post lights off. It's supposed to actually start, yeah, right here, right around 11,000 feet where it's 0. But even still, below 10 Celsius, we still could potentially pick up icing. So far, we look good. 10,000 now. Let's up our speed. Going very far south. Omaha departure, can we get vectors to OVR now?
Compassion 5129, descend and maintain 5,000 vectors to OVR now.
We were given climb maintain flight level 200. Can we get vectors to Oscar Victor Romeo? Passed through 12,000. Alright, we look good. Get the inertia separator off. We're good. We're going to get a boost in power here. Probably eyes can stay.
5129, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Alright, we see our power is increasing. Our torque, let's back it off some. We don't want to go past 121. There we go. Inertia separator light is extinguished. 150 doing 1,500 feet per minute. And compassion flight 5129, we're going direct to Oscar Victor Romeo now. I'm not waiting. He's sending us way too far out. There's no reason for us to go that far out.
Compassion 5129, roger. Direct OVR approved. Maintain 5,000.
Site. Yeah, where we are, there's no reason he should be sending us that far south. Let's go flight plan. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Heck is OVR. Looks like we've already missed it. This is actually over Omaha. Let's see. Compassion flight 5129. We'd like to get vectors. Correction. We'd like to get direct to Zemet. Yeah, because OVR is way back here.
Zemet approved, maintain 20,000.
Alright, direct Zemet approved and climb and maintain flight level 200, compassion flight 5129. And they're supposed to be saying flight level, not 20,000. Know what's going on with this stuff right now. Zemet, direct, activate. Let's switch to nav mode. Alright, we're looking good. We're burning 66 gallons an hour. And at flight level 200, we should be looking at around cruise power, 121% on the torque, 2,000 on the RPM prop. We should burn around 69 gallons an hour, and this is a standard day ISA. With 217 indicated true airspeed 298. And it'll give us 1,122 miles of coverage.
Compassion 5129, contact Minneapolis Center on 119.6.
Over to Minneapolis Center on 119.6. Thanks for the help, Compassion Flight 5129. Hello, Minneapolis Center, Compassion Flight 5129, passing 17,000, climbing flight level 200. Negative 16 now.
Compassion 5129, Minneapolis Center, good afternoon.
Alright, we're looking good on the cabin. Pressurization, engine instruments all look good. Our ITT is stable. Currently burning 65 gallons an hour. We're actually doing better. We'll see the temps may be ISA minus today. At least for our area, we'll verify that. Alright, we're coming up on flight level 180. Doing 150 and getting about 1,200 feet per minute. There's 18. Let's go standard. Do half bank at this point. We're looking good. All right. Alright, 19,000. We got 1,000 to go. We're already 11 minutes in, and I believe we're supposed to reach top of climb at, looks like it's going to be much sooner than we was planned for. Let's see. Top of climb in 14 minutes. Actually, we're doing pretty good. We're still early. 12 minutes in, looks like we're going to reach it about 12 minutes early. Alright, we got 20,000 feet armed. And should start lowering the nose here. Not to overspeed it. Alright, there we go. Nose is lowering. It's pretty responsive on the for the autopilot at leveling off. Alright, we're speeding up here. We'll increase torque. ITT is still within reason. Good. We'll get all our power here in. Increase it to 121 here. Alright, there we go. 121 there on the power. ITT is still in the green. We got 66 there. On the fuel flow, we're at 200, negative 23. At 20,000 feet, that would be negative 40 plus 15 would be, what? Negative 25. We're only 2 degrees, so we're ISA plus 2. We're actually burning much better on the fuel. We're saving about 3 gallons compared to what the POH says we should be burning, so we'll take it. Alright, power's increasing, or I'm sorry, airspeed's increasing. We're doing 293 across the ground. We got the wind at our tail. For some reason, the 750 seems to show a different wind correction. We're north up. This is acting as if the wind's on our tail, but this panel's showing, actually, you know what, that's right, because we're north up. The wind barb is basically right on our tail. Alright, so those two do match. That looks good. Get some things in order here. All right, that was really our main concern was going to be climbing out of there and paying attention to icing conditions. We're just above the cloud layer as well, so we're good there. All right, yeah, we're at about 210 now. Yeah, right at 210 and still climbing. We're getting 318 across the ground. This isn't bad at all. All right, we got cabin climb rate is zeroed out. We got 6.2. We're right at the threshold on the PSI, and cabin altitude is 3,000 feet. Not bad. Cabin. 75 degrees in here. It's perfect. That's good. Cabin's getting air. We're technically getting air too. I don't want to have to put the mask on. We can put the mask on, but then we hear the breathing taking place the whole time. Let's see. Yeah, guys, we're gonna get our guy. What's our guy's name? Oh, we're already actually active on it right now. Looking good. Hey, again, appreciate everyone who's here today. Appreciate you guys being in the stream. Yeah, we're taking Mr. Parker here to Milwaukee. Weather looks good in Milwaukee. We shouldn't have any troubles getting there. Everything's looking good. Let's increase our distance here on this. It's out. Let's go 25. Let's just finish our checklist now for cruise. For transition, we got altimeters are standing. Cabin pressurization, we verified it's good. Post lights are off. De-ice system as needed. Inertial separator is now off. Cruise checklist. Power level is set. We got a good balance on the fuel. The auto shift is doing what it's supposed to. Switching between the tanks to keep the aircraft balanced. And cabin pressurization is set. Like I said, we just verified that to be good. De-icing system. Only thing we have is prop de-ice on. We turn ice light off. We don't need it now. Inertial separator again is off. Ignition is off. We're not in any heavy precep. And we'll do descent checklist when we get to it. Actually, let's look at our charts here. We're about maybe an hour from top of descent. Let's go to KMKE. And so again, we already looked at the arrival. We'll look at the approach. Again, we're doing 7 right because that's what's active there now. Also, if we go here, nope, not there. Airport info and weather. 3009 east northeast 060 at 5 knots. Viz 10, overcast 1900. That's pretty much it. Nothing major we got to deal with here along the flight. We're on the. We're also monitoring the guard frequency. For the 7 approach, let's see, what are we approaching? Course to 054. We don't need to do that, it's already set. We'll set heading though. And we're somewhat entering the cloud here. Again, we'll verify, make sure we're not picking up any icing on here. enough to need to use the de-ice boots. Alright, let's go full screen on this. Alright, ILS is going to be 115.5. Get that on standby. Final approach course will be 076. DH, we have it set to 200 already. Radio altimeter, we're not doing that. 200, do we click that? No, it's just that. It's normal. Our DH is set to 200. Either way, minimums of 929. ATIS will be 26.4. Good there. Alright, we got that information. Actually, alright, so if we got to go miss, climb 2900, then left turn direct Bay, VOR, and hold. Radar vectors, procedure to DME required, VGILS, glide path, incidental. Highest obstacle on the course is going to be just north of the approach path. And yes, we go straight out, 2900, left turn to Bay. If we need to go hold, final approach fix is fit no. Bonnet's the initial. We'll be doing about 120 on the approach, so they'll give us 637 feet per minute. And we got a standard glide path of 3 degrees. We got is that medium approach light in sequence runner, I think is what that is. Pappy lights will be on the left, and our frequency for the, let's set that though, set that to 16.4. There we go, we'll set that on to there. That's going to pop up over here for our VOR for that. Turn out to there, we'll verify that if we need to as well. ILS down to 929, RVR 24. This shouldn't be much of an issue. Visibility is already showing weathers to be good around that time. Alright, no icing accumulated there on our leading edges. So we look to be good. Alright, approach is briefed. Actually, let's go back here. Split. Arrival. Again, we already briefed this. Again, we got full on ATC, so the only thing we'll be worried about is our speed at 250 descending into during the arrival. That's pretty much it. We already looked at our weather there. We got our ATIS on standby and our missed approach frequency on standby. We already have our ILS on standby here on the nav selector, which will be here, and it'll show up over here on the standby, which we'll get this set now to 076. Right, that's set. We'll get the heading set to that as well. Alright, temperature in the cabin's good. We're at 74. Let's drop it down one more notch. Alright, we look good, guys. Hope everyone, again, is doing well. Appreciate everyone in the channel here stopping by, hanging out. Looking good doing this evening flight. Alright, let's turn the oxygen mask off. We're getting oxygen just fine. Turn those off. Again, a cool feature from Black Square on the TBM here. Let's get our power back up. We're not quite there. Not too much. Oh, don't over torque. Oh, don't over torque. Back it off. Stop over torquing. Alright, there we go. Right at red line. That's pretty much 121. Yeah, we exceeded the torque there. Because of our throttle, it's kind of twitchy. Alright, but 329 knots across the ground is insane for a turboprop. For a single engine turboprop is insane. We can fly some good distances. We're already 52 minutes out from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, going from Nebraska to Milwaukee. Kick and tail. Oh, also my mistake. Let's get our banner on up here. You guys actually see where we're going here. Let's see, where's our calculator? Alright, turn to 061. 061 set. Alright, so we need to get down to, let me see the chart. Actually, let's go procedure, approach, LS7 right. It says bonnet is actually going to be our initial. But let me get a look at it. Show plates. I'm looking at my stuff here on Forward Flight. Look different from what you guys can see here. See what this soft ride, but I need to read up on that, see what that does exactly. Alright, autopilot's doing its job. No runaway trim or anything. Autopilot's not malfunctioning. Again, if we have any issues of needing to dump the autopilot, if the disconnect doesn't work, we pull the circuit breaker and that should stop it. Alright, we got our nearest up, closest airport to us. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I did the wrong frequency. It's not 1115, it's 1115. Almost had that incorrect. Alright, 11.5. Alright, so we're going to get down to 2,900 feet. Wrong thing. Yeah. Yes. Minus, what does it say? 2,900. Paid off 17,000, so that divided by 3 is 57. 171 divided by 57 miles out. Yo, what up, JJ? Welcome in. No worries, man. Welcome in. 7-3 into El Salvador using say intentions not too long. How was it? Did you enjoy it? Did it function as it should, or was it, you know, spazzing out or anything? It's about 57 minutes out, or 57 miles out is when we'll start the descent. back to look at our, yes, man. And then when you listen to your voice, it actually has like that distortion, like you're actually talking through a radio. It's absolutely cool, man. I agree. All right, 57 miles out is where we should be starting our descent to reach the final approach fix altitude. And then, let's say we'll just say doing 250 across the ground. What is it, times 2? So we'd have to do 500 feet per minute at that point from 57 miles out. The arrival, but the approach was fine. It cleared me for what I requested. Nice, yo. That's pretty cool, man. It's always fantastic when everything does what it's supposed to. That's when it's the best. Glad it's working out for you and you're enjoying it. Like I said, man, I can't go back to VATSIM. Saying tensions for me is where it's at. I'm trying to figure out how to talk to the co-pilot, or is that, do you have the if you are you using the premium or the entourage? Because if I'm not mistaken, entourage you don't get ATC, so you would have the crew. So what you would have to do is go to your chart here, go to the cogwheel, go to controls, and you have to set a push to talk button specifically for your crew. So mine are set this way, so you actually have to map those. And so when you need to talk to them, depending on what you choose here, you can, not that one, here is it, yeah, push to talk. So you hold it, say what you need to say, release it, just like talking to ATC. So however you choose it, or you can have to just click it and it stays open until you stop talking, then you click it again, close it. But you have to assign that, and then when you go into the pilot portal, you have to go there and actually make sure you have the co-pilot feature activated in the intercom section in your settings. Okay, then yeah, you have those guys. Let's see. All right, we got that set.
Compassion 5129, contact Chicago Center on 127.05.
All right, over to Chicago Center on 27.05. Thanks for the help, Compassion Flight 5129. Good day. Hello, Chicago Center, Compassion Flight 5129, flight level 200.
Chicago Center, good afternoon.
But yeah, that's how that part works. So I see what you meant now. When it comes to the cabin crew, so I will now switch. And don't switch it. Use both. You can set up to 3 intercoms. So for me, I have 1 intercom set up for the cabin. I have a 2nd intercom set up for the co-pilot, and a 3rd intercom set up for the passengers. So you can have 3 different click buttons assigned, so you don't have to switch them back and forth. If you're flying airline stuff, use all 3 of them. Just remember a label on whatever buttons, whatever controls you have. Label it if you need to, but eventually you'll get used to it after you use it more, of what buttons you have set to what. But yeah, it's there for you to use all 3 buttons. You just have to map all 3 of them. Like you saw on mine, I have 3 different ones mapped here. If it'll let me move it. I gotta move the whole thing. Alright, I gotta move all of it. So yeah, I got 3 different things mapped. Again, my push to talk to ATC. Then my channel 3 is for passengers. Channel 1 is talking to to my cabin crew, and channel 2 I have set for my co-pilot. So yeah, you can map 3 different things if you need to.
307 for Canon 1049.
No, you can't use the same button for all 3. You have to pick 3 different buttons. So my SATEC, I have 3 different click buttons on my throttle quadrant that I use. So whatever you're using for your flight controls, if you have extra little click toggle buttons, you can use those. Otherwise, I assume you're going to have to use like a button on your keyboard for whatever you use for that. But yeah, unfortunately, so the same with your push to talk. If you use VATSIM, you can't, you don't want to set your push to talk for say intentions as the same push to talk that you use for VATSIM. They also suggest that not to set that to the same one, to pick different ones. So it doesn't override or interfere, and you're trying to talk to.
129, direct Oakley, then is filed, please.
All right, direct Oli, then is filed. Compassion Flight 5129. I think that's where we're already going. Oh no, we're not. All right, he's giving us a shortcut. We'll take it. Activate. Appreciate the shortcut there.
3425, guys, 3914, take care.
Contact Minneapolis Center 134.25.
135. Alright, I'm just checking some things over here, but we're looking good here. Again, he gave us a shortcut, gave us direct Ali. As we see there, Oli. And then that's pretty much into the arrival phase there. That's where we're going. Let me see one other thing on the approach. It won't actually, yeah, it won't actually give us Hobbit. Should already have, yeah, we already got it loaded, so we're good there. We got the arrival, yeah, we got the arrival there. All's good. What company are you flying for, JJ? But yeah, see, like doing these would be very cool to get that call feature. Actually, you know what? They have been updating Pocket Sky. Let me see what I've missed on it, because the app looks a little different as well when I was just in it. So I had already in the Pocket Sky app, I already set it up to the ramp we're actually going to be parking at, which is Signature. Say tonight probably Delta in the 319 going to Key West, but earlier it was American 738. Nice. Let's see, what am I missing here? My flight, the comms, frequency. Let's see, what is this one? An update for, oh, I need to update it. Alright, well, let me update the app. But it's going to be cool if they add that call function where we can actually call the FBO, let them know, hey, we need to make sure a crew car is available for when we arrive for our passengers. Because that's things that happen in the real life. In fact, the guy I was watching on YouTube that was flying this aircraft actually showed that. It was pretty cool. Him making a call through his headset. I think through his phone. I think he called the phone. Oh no, I think the FBO had their own frequency somehow. We can call it from the aircraft. Yeah, that's something that took me a while to figure out. I like that. You can select your parking position from the airport. Yes. Yes, and for a good while, dude, I wasn't even using the Pocket Sky. I was like, I don't need that. As long as it... Now, I don't use the automatic parking of choosing where to park when I'm flying the airline stuff. Because in the real world in operations, the pilots don't know what gate they're going to until they're in range. They typically won't know that until they're in range or are on the ground. Because gate changes happen all the time, so I try to leave it alone. I don't mess with it during that time. Unless they assign me a gate that's not the correct gate. Then I'll go into Pocket Sky and I'll change it to the correct gate assignment. But when I'm doing GA stuff, I definitely go in and assign what ramp I want to park at, what ramp we plan on parking at. So when we get there, ground will already know. I'll bid. Typically, tower asks you when you're on final, once they cleared you to land, especially if you're in something, I don't want to say slow, but they typically will ask, so they kind of already gauge where they need to give you taxi directions to once you land. So they'll say, hey, where you parking when you land? You say the GA transient parking, or parking going to Signature or Atlantic. So they know where those things are on the field. They'll already have their have things kind of figured out where they're going to send you the taxi to get to those locations. Yeah, I'm definitely loving Pocket Sky though. It's fantastic. And the fact that you can also make radio calls and text to speech through Pocket Sky, so if you're away from the aircraft, you can just send that stuff out that way. It's very cool. It looks like its sun must be starting. It's kind of starting to set behind us. Alright, we're doing about 213 indicated. Doing 322 across the ground. This is beautiful. Magnificent here. To be getting these kind of speeds, man, in a single engine turboprop is crazy. Inverted flight prohibited, acrobatic maneuvers prohibited, and intentional spins prohibited. Max takeoff weight is 7394. Design load factor is 1.5 G's negative and 3.8 G's positive. Flaps down 0 negative G's and +2 positive G's. So plane configuration max G-force we can add is 3.8. Man, doing an evasive maneuver gotta be pretty fun in this airplane. Speed 158, EMO 266, 178, below 178 for takeoff config, and 122 for landing. Landing gear, we can drop the gear down at below 178. Get this airplane slowed down very quickly if we needed to. We're operating up 128, down below 178. So also, let me see if we do our VNAV, if it'll actually measure out what I was looking for. Fendo, why can I change this? Oh, you know what? It's probably like that because I don't have the approach activated. Let me see something else. Flight plan. Let's say bonnet. Oh yeah, I can see it's going after that one. Final approach fix. Waypoint info. No, I can't do anything there. Oh, that's a cool, easy hold setup. Alright, let's go back. We'll use that one, what it's showing for VNAV. Target 500 feet per minute. If we wanted to do that. It's required. Flight path angle. Oh, that's why I threw it back up to there. Time window, and this isn't giving us our information because this isn't technically activated.
Direct O'Neill, Colony 1910.
Yeah.
Shows 4180, that's going to be 330.
Send maintain for level 330, Skywest 4180.
United 302, contact Minneapolis Center 135.77.
For power on, 2 hours. 081.
Delta 2244,
So we should have weather.
Start down. It's good. Smooth out.
Oh, that's the thought it was in here. Not that. Oh, it's right here. Alright, we do have it.
2777, Skywest 4180.
Picks up anything down there.
Center low, Skywest 4180, 3.8, sending a level 330.
Don't think it will. Yeah, weather's gonna be good in Milwaukee anyway when we get there. Like I said, it won't be crazy or anything.
Send maintain for level 320, Skywest 4180.
Got somebody going from Teterboro to SLC, Salt Lake Center. I'm sorry, Salt Lake City. They're 43,000 feet. That's that guy up there. We can see his contrail. That's NetJets. They're going left from Teterboro and going to, I can vaguely see the airplane right there. It's like barely right there. They're 43,000 feet going to Salt Lake City. Literally 23,000 feet above us. It's a, looks like a Citation 68 Alpha it has it labeled as. Across the ground, kind of coming up on a, doing some cloud surfing here. We got 62. We're burning even better on the fuel now. 62.8. Oh, why are we losing ITT? Did I mess with my throttles? Let's get that back up. Not over the torque. Picking up any icing, are we? No icing. Yeah, we're cloud surfing here now.
3425 goes 41 yes.
Boogie boarding. Also, let me see something here. There we go. Into 128 from the, what is it, the Milwaukee VOR? I can't hear it if it's on or not.
32 is about the same, and above that it might be more. Okay, copy, thank you.
Japan Air Force 501, contact Chicago.
Alright, and then when we get ready to descend, we'll set the cabin altitude at that point. 728, we'll add 500 feet to that. We're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 1200 is what we'll put on our cabin altitude. So we'll dial this all the way back until that's right at above the one mark. So also we're using what are we using as our alternate today? I think it's MCN. Let me see. MSN is our alternate. Even though again the weather should be good where we're going, the biggest problem will be again the airport closed. There could be an airport closure. Security threat could take place, even though they got multiple runways here. Security threat could happen. We definitely want to make sure we plan for fuel to get somewhere else. Which we have plenty of fuel. So if we look at the EFB here, and that's good. Breathing well. Was the payload? Endurance, we got 2.5 hours. We can still go 790 nautical miles. So we have plenty of fuel to get somewhere else if we need to. When I fly GA, I don't care where I'm flying. I'm filling the airplane all the way up. Airplane's gonna always be full of fuel if I can help it. We got clean air flowing through. Oh, we got icing. Oh, had icing. You saw a little molecule there go through. A particle. And it disappeared. We got to slow down then. Let's slow down just because we want to see this. Get the inertia separator back turned on. We got to slow the speed down to get below 200 knots. You don't want to be ingesting ice into the engines, which means if it's picking that up, then we should start to accumulate ice on the wings here. So let's see if it starts ingesting any again. We're going to slow down here, try to get below 200. Let's go about 85, maybe 85 on the torque. That should start to back us off below 200. All right, so far it's not. Oh, there it is. Starting to ingest something here. Let's throw this back up here so we can see it in front of us. And you can see the little ice particles flowing into the engine, which we don't want.
American 751, contact Chicago Center 133.
Which means we should be a little bit more proactive then when we see these cloud levels pop up here. So already be initiating the inertia separator. Alright, we're at 200, so now if you guys want to see how it actually, it's supposed to take 40 seconds for the inertia separator to fully engage. You see the doors open in there. It'll only allow the air to come through, and anything heavier than the air is going to fall below it and back out the exhaust. There we see it's opening. We should get the light to pop on for the inertia separator. And we also lost some power there. So inertia separator is fully engaged. But like I said, we can't go above 200 on the speed. Let's see if we get back into some clouds here and really get to kind of get a look at it. Let's get our ATIS information in. It says we're currently 24 minutes out.
National Airport. Information tank. 2252 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 7 left, 1 left, 7 right. Wind 050 at 4. Visibility 10. Overcast F1900. Temperature 4, dew point 1. Altimeter 3006. Density altitude minus 500 feet.
Oh, we got 3006.
Vicinity of airport.
Alright, got our ATIS information. They are landing our 7s.
So we're still on course to Jordy for now.
1135 Roger, let me know.
Right, I think we're good. We'll turn the inertia separator back off, but this diagram is pretty cool because you kind of get to see real time of what's taking place, what's going through the engine there for the most part. So that's cool to see. Albeit IRL again, you don't get to see this stuff, so it's cool to see it here in the sim. But you have to really be paying attention to your instruments and everything in the real world. Again, unless you got a JPI or something in here that gives you the engine monitoring information, you won't get that good. Alright, we'll throw that back over here on the seat.
That was 1789, we go, Mike, Charlie with 1789,
power back up. Alright, right before it's time for top of the
5129, contact Chicago Center on 132.625.
over to 32.625, compassion flight 5129, good day. Hello, Chicago Center, compassion flight 5129, flight level 200.
Compassion 5129, Chicago Center, good evening.
Alright, we got the current ATIS information for our destination.
Chicago Delta 1135, level 32.
Delta 1135, Chicago Roger, calling KMKE-SIGNATURE 340, occasional pocket continuous flight stop.
Alright, climate stand 5134, Delta 1135. We also, last center,
1135, stand by for that.
Chicago 9314, 29 is coming on flight turbulence now, 2780 better.
Perfect 600, Tango, descending to Volt 330. 4669 Tango Tango, descending to Volt 330.
330, second.
I stepped on somebody, who was it?
I'm sorry, who's asking about me? United 314, it's just constant line turbulence.
Local 188, Chicago, center Roger, occasional supply restricted to
Yeah, 314, descend pause discretion, flight level 240,
Delta 1130
finding
at 5,
good, let me know, otherwise it's all going to be the same.
Alright, down to 240, we'll let you know if we find something that we like.
Digit 660E, contact Minneapolis Center 119.72. Oh, good one.
Chicago Porter 654, flight level 330, Chicago Center, Scout 4698, flight level 300, smooth. Forward.
This would extend instruction to welcome. Leave some light tops, and if you do get any bad rides, you should improve west and longer.
Sounds good, thank you.
Target 16, my point 75, please.
2 Kilo Bravo, Zalir 310, hello.
Thank you.
Chicago Porter 654, flight level 330.
4264 Chicago Center, Roger, keep my top.
So, 74 Chicago Center,
Delta 939, contact Chicago Center on 126.27.
2627, Delta 939.
Go ahead. So, 74, please indicate airport via after license.
Ready, 2971. Flight 2193, Chicago Center, Roger, keep my top.
November 2 Kilo Bravo, descend maintain flight level 240.
7240, Kilo Bravo.
United 2850, how's your ride?
Afternoon, Minneapolis, United 2850 was pretty smooth until about a minute ago. It's been an occasional light up.
United 4, Chicago Center, Roger, Eagle to get to your flight, stand by for that.
Chicago, get in, United 746, 340, occasional light chop.
It's 746, Center, Roger, Eagle to continuous flight chop.
Better ride time.
94, Chicago Center, Roger, Eagle to continuous flight chop.
United 2850, you are leaving my airspace, contact Minneapolis Center 135.77, they'll give you a report.
13577, United 2850, good day.
So, United 314, I'm at altitude.
Target 2971, contact Chicago Center 127.77.
United 314 to Triple.
Actually, that's 74, maintain flight level 240.
Chicago American 2933, with you level 3. American
2933, Chicago Center, Roger, 600 degrees right, back to free climb, climb maintain, flight level 340.
East of the Mississippi, for now to maintain flight level 3.
Double 394, contact Minneapolis Center 134.25.
330, Zulu, structure, welcome ship.
JetBlue 1734, code direct Monset.
Direct Monset, JetBlue 1734, thank you.
Welcome.
Compassion 5129, cleared go pack 3, will get your transition into Milwaukee. When you're ready to begin your descent, descend and maintain 15,000 feet, altimeter 3006.
Ready to climb 36, I was 36, 28,
Hey, perfect, 1278, 270.
That's also an Chicago Center, welcome. I might take a pocket to put you at the light shop.
Omaha 63, Chicago Center, roger. Did you want to stand that route today, or do you want to shortcut?
That was a couple second on at 1, 10, 1801, Chicago Center, welcome. Your right should be mostly smooth. Better run.
669 Tango Tango.
669 Tango, Chicago Center, welcome. Next occasional flight shop.
That's only 177, Chicago Center, roger. Occasional suspected to continue flight shop. American 2933, you're clear direct 50.
Okay, direct 50, American 2933. 3.3.
Airport 820, contact
Compassion 5129, descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
137, there's 2020, good day. Center hello, Sky 668, level 280.
Tower 1668, Chicago Center, roger, clear direct base to the airport.
Direct base 6, Sky 668. No, Chicago, Sky 2402, flight level 270.
Wisconsin 62402, Chicago Center, welcome. You can select pockets of light shop.
Sounds good. Chicago, good afternoon, 470, Sir Kilo, flight level 320, direct Jeff City.
Or 470, Sir Kilo, Chicago Center, welcome. That's where some light shop is.
Sweet.
Divert 2 Kilo Bravo, contact Chicago Center 133.3.
All 3 is Kilo Bravo, good night.
So.
Center hello, Delta 616, flight level 390.
Delta 668, Chicago Center, roger. Occasional suspected to continue flight shop.
Center Envoy 4196, level T40, looking for direct destination.
Envoy 4196, Chicago Center, welcome. I can't have it yet for some more here inbound, but turn 15 degrees right back to the airport.
Yeah, 15 degrees right on with 196.
Compassion 5129, contact Milwaukee approach on 118.0.
Wisconsin 2402, contact Minneapolis Center 134.25.
Ready for 25, Wisconsin 2402.
After Mount
it down to 5,000. We have wind at Kenosha. We'll expect
Level 1 Alpha, ISO, say altitude.
We are 15,000, 15,000, 12, and down to 5.
Oh, I didn't realize I had my mic muted for some reason. I don't know how long it was muted. It was muted for a few minutes. Milwaukee approach, compassion flight, 5129, descending via the GoPack 3 arrival. Yeah, we got to make sure the differential pressure is actually decreasing.
5129, Milwaukee approach. Good evening, Milwaukee. Altimeter 3006. Expect the ILS runway 7 right approach into Milwaukee.
All right, 3006. We expect the ILS 7 right approach into Milwaukee. Compassion 5129. Yeah, we're out of 17 now. Post lights, we can get them on, I guess. Lights, post lights. All right, cabin pressure is doing what it's supposed to now. All right, cabin pressure lights out, lights on, de-icing, we'll get them on, and our separators are already on. Airflow, distributor's good. Ignition, we don't have heavy precept, we're going into, we'll hit the shift and switch to fullest tank. Should be left tank. It is. Auto fuel selector is set. Get out of
5129, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000. Compassion 5129. $6,000 set. Let's descend a little bit faster. Set it back to about 70%. 1,000 feet per minute.
Milwaukee approach on board 37, 77, 19, 2, descending 14.
Alright, differential pressure is decreasing. That's the main thing to make sure. Got this little cloud layer below us here.
388 after cheddar, 13,000 on board 37, 77.
As soon as he starts giving us heading vectors, which he shouldn't, because it should give us a direct lineup with runway 07 right is what it's supposed to do. Alright, we're looking good there. 98%. Out of 14,000. 29 miles out. Let's descend a little faster. Let's go 60%. We're in GA. We can descend like a rocket. Let's go 55% here. There we go. Really get us down here. We'll get us out of 850 mode as well. We'll set that back down to off. Get the ice light on. -6.
Passion 5129, descend and maintain 5,000 feet, turn right, heading 095 vectors for the ILS runway 7 right approach.
Alright, descend, maintain 5,000, right turn to 095 for vectors for the ILS. Compassion 5129. Switch to heading mode, we'll take that off, half bank off, heading mode select. And now we'll switch this to ILS. Our VOR1, which will give us the ILS once we pick it up. So VOR1, we'll set that. And let's set 5,000. And now we can set that to the course from here, which is 076.
Heading 340.
We're doing 2,000 feet a minute. I don't know why he's putting us off course like this. It's got to bring us right back around. We literally was head on with where we needed to be. Alright, we're below 10,000. We already got lights on. Post lights on. We're good up top. Again, we're keeping it right below 200.
Turn left heading 080.
Alright, down to 4,000 feet, left turn 080, compassion 5129. Gotta bleed off 4,000 feet, we're coming in hot.
Delta 2152, 4 miles, Sydney, maintain 2,700 until established below flight clear ILS, runway 7 right approach.
2,700 until established clear ILS, 7 right approach, Delta 215.
Runway 3777,
Alright, not picking up ice so far.
With 10,300 knots on the way.
Passion 5129, 8 miles from Fidno, turn left heading 055, descend and maintain 2700 feet until established on the localizer. Clear for the ILS, runway 7 right approach.
Contact tower.
Which tower, Delta 215?
Alright, left turn to 055. Maintain 270, 2,700 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS 7 right approach, compassion 5129.
One Alpha Echo, turn left heading into 100, intercept the localizer.
Compassion 5129, contact Milwaukee.
Oh, you know what? That's why I'm not picking it up. Switch. There we go. There's my localizer. Alright, over to tower on 2457, compassion 5129. There we go. We already broke out. We'll contact them once we're established. We'll stay here. Alright, we're coming up on altitude. We'll start to slow it down here. Alright, we got it. Let's arm the approach. It's capturing the localizer. We're slowing down below 178. Let's go gear down. Let's go approach flaps. Hello, Milwaukee Tower, Compassion 5129 on the ILS for runway 07 right.
Compassion 5129, Milwaukee Tower, affirm runway 7 right is active. Compassion 5129, wind 050 at 4, runway 7 right, cleared to land, caution bird activity.
Alright, copy the winds, clear to land, runway 7 right, Compassion 5129. Slow us down to approach speed. Alright, we got the glide slope as well. We are descending.
Turn 130 and now departure. Good night, Southwest 372.
It's too bright. Alright, property ice off. We're near 0 on the differential pressure. We got 3 green on the gear on approach. We're at 122 now. Get that set. We are on the localizer. Alright, cabin lights good, altimeters are set, decision height is set to 200, fuel balance is good, inertia separator is on. Prop is max, landing gear is down, flaps are 178. We're out of 1800, let's go approach full flaps. Landing taxi light on now. We'll cut the autopilot here momentarily. Autopilot yaw dampener go off. And flaps are good below 122. Let me watch my power here. Wait for that guy to get off the runway as well. Alright. Alright, autopilot's away. We'll go yaw damper off and autopilot off. Go flight director off as well. One dot up. Guys should be exiting the runway here pretty soon. Enough for us to still land. We're stable. Got our clearance to land already. He still hasn't exited. But we should be able to slow down and get off the runway still within time.
Tower car copy 72160.
Got a little crab angle going here, we do.
72160 Milwaukee Tower. And you just on course director, proceed, or you fall shore southbound? On the shore right southbound, proceed for 72160.
Alright, minimums. Continuing, stable. Alright, he's clear the runway.
North of 7 right, still advised 72160.
Alright, we got runway made. And we got the birds. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So if we can kick it into reverse. Alright, slow it down. So again, we want to be exiting by echo, which we're going to make that easily. Alright guys, welcome to Milwaukee at negative 79. That's how it should be. Only greases for private flights. It's the only time you care about greases. Anything other than that, airliners, you get it down. But you got private travel, air travel going on, you grease it as best you can. Because again, the guy that's in the back is the guy who owns the airplane. Alright, let's get clear here.
Compassion 5129, welcome to Milwaukee. Contact ground on 121.8.
Alright, we'll contact ground on 0.8, Compassion 5129. Thanks for the help. Good day. What do we clear of here? Stop the recording. Let's get strobe lights off. We'll leave landing lights on for now. Let's get gear up. We're good there. Get oxygen off. Hello ground, Compassion 5129. We are clear runway 7 right.
Compassion 5129, Milwaukee ground negative. You are not clear of runway 7. Please confirm your position.
Oh, he doesn't know. Okay, that's fair. And Compassion 5129, we are clear of runway 7 right on Alpha. Can he not see us from where he is in the tower? Alright, flaps are up. Everything else looks good. Those can all stay on. Get the ice light off. We don't need it. And Milwaukee ground, did you copy? Milwaukee ground, Compassion flight 5129. We are clear runway 07 right on Alpha, holding short of Romeo.
Compassion 5129, cross runway 07 right, then continue taxi via Alpha to signature stand spot 1.
He still think, we must think we're on the right side then. Alright, to signature via Alpha, Compassion 5129. Yeah, because we're on Alpha.
5129, proceed to signature via Alpha.
I already said okay. Alright, we'll proceed to signature via Alpha Tango. Via Alpha Echo, we'll hold short runway 31 on Echo. Compassion 5129 is what he should be giving us.
Compassion 5129, cross runway 31, then continue taxi via Echo to signature stand spot 1.
Copy y'all, Compassion 5129. Got the big guys out here. I guess we can turn landing light off. Don't need those on at this point. We got taxi light on. That was a beautiful flight. Excellent landing. Don't think it gets any better than that. We greased that as good as ever. I really like landing in this aircraft. It's pretty nice. Brightness down on that. I'll set this back to GPS. We'll delete the flight plan here. Alright, clear right. Alright, the landing checklist is complete. Power level, idle, reverse, all that's good. We're done. Taxi light on, post lights off, strobe lights off, landing lights off. DI system off, inertia separator is on. As we pass by the terminal here. Got a Delta CRJ over there. Terminal looks pretty nice. Yeah, this is the freeware version of Milwaukee. Bleed air, we can leave it on for now. Weather radar can go off. We don't need it. Flaps are up. Oxygen supply is off. And for shutdown, basically. Next one. Get that pulled up for next.
Compassion 5129, cross runway 31, then continue taxi via Foxtrot.
Alright, cross runway 31 and continue taxiing via Foxtrot to the ramp. Compassion 5129, thank you. Alright, clear left and right. Got to cross 7 left. And Compassion 5129, permission to cross runway 7 left.
Compassion 5129, cross runway 07 left, then continue taxi via Alpha to signature stand spot 1.
Alright, continue across 7 left to the stand, Compassion 5129. Yeah, we're still good.
Compassion 5129, cross runway 07 left, then continue taxi to signature stand spot 1 via Alpha.
Copy that, Compassion 5129. He's not understanding nothing else, so. Alright, let's get lights back off. Strobes off. Hold on 1 second, guys. Something's going on here. Let's see. I guess I could have went up one more here and been fine. And here's Foxtrot he was talking about. Got some jets over now. The scenery, I think, has a few baked in aircraft. See if we see a marshaller out here. And I see the guy. Minus this freaking pink plane. We got net jets out here. Also, normally they wouldn't have you come in straight nose toward the terminal, because then they'd have to do a bunch of pushbacks. So normally you're like parallel to the building. So we're right next to the NetJets guy and the Matrix airplane. Alright, let's get taxi light off. Pretty sure he's mad that we just blinded him on the ramp. Alright, we'll set feather for 15 seconds. We're engine idle for just as many. Let's get that up. Cabin light on. Cabin lights on. Folks in the back will be able to exit the aircraft. Alright, parking brake set, taxi light is off, bleed air system. Let's get that stuff off. Off. That's set. Get that turned off. Let me let the company know we've made it. Hello, Sky Operations, Compassion 5129. We are at our destination airport and parked.
Great job on the mission. Your passengers are safely at their destination for their medical appointments. The families are grateful for your service.
Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Alright, out of there. Air conditions off. Power levels idle for 1 minute. Prop lever feather for 15 seconds. Condition lever to the cutoff position. Boost pumps going off. Manual on the fuel selector. Fuel selector will pop it out and turn it to the off position. And off. I probably should have got EFA stuff off first too. All of that off. Off. Got all my DI stuff off first. Alright, off. And off. Let's separate off. Exterior lights off. Gyros all off. EFIS master off. Autopilot off. Interior lights. Ignition is already off. Oh no, off now. Generators on main. Radio master will go off, source and crash bar will come down. Alright, master is going off. Hey man, appreciate you guys flying along with us here today. And we'll just get the GPU connected anyway. Chocks, covers on, engine covers going on, external power connected. If it stays connected, make sure it does. It does. Alright, for now we'll switch it over to that off. Other than the pink plane there, we are golden. Door. See oxygen. We still got plenty of oxygen. We'll refill that some other time. Right now we're good with it. We don't need to. We get lights off there. Those down, off, annunciator off. That's all off up top. Alright. Welcome to Milwaukee, guys. Made it here in the TBM just before the sun set. We'll look over at the terminal as well, but we are at Signature Aviation ramp. We can get those other lights off too. I don't need those on. I'm thinking I'm into like a airliner. We don't have to have that light on. Geez, that pink plane's. Let me rerun this park. Get rid of this pink plane. Looks like it should be a caravan of some sort. Things glowing on the ramp. I am absolutely loving this TBM though. I gotta say, very much loving this airplane. JJ, man, appreciate you hanging out. Caleb, appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. I don't know if you still in here or not. Again, JJ, very glad that you're enjoying having sand tensions and it's working out for you. All right, that airplane's gone now. We got Southwest taking off there in the back. This was beautiful. A great flight, no issues. Didn't pick up any ice, and I now know too the best method of course of action is if we have no clouds as far as icing conditions go, we can open up the descent speed and rate. Descend at like 3,000 feet a minute if we need to. But if we got to get through icing conditions, then we'll descend again at 200 knots or less. That way we can get the inertia separator open, not to ingest any icing into the aircraft. But this is a very fun flight here, coming over to Signature to drop off our passengers, Mr. Parker, for his medical appointment today. And hey, man, I appreciate everyone who stopped by, hung out. Again, the links are in the chat here, and it's also in the description if you watch this flight after the stream. If you would like to donate to Angel Flight Central or help out in any way, if you're a pilot, you can do these Angel Flights to help get these people where they need to get to in a much faster time, and for non-profit, no charge to them to be able to get them there. Because again, if they're already in need of medical help, they're probably already inundated in medical bills and everything else. So again, happy to be able to replicate these kind of flights through sand tension. It's pretty cool that they have that. But yeah, other than that, appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I will see y'all on the next flight. Later.
Cleared ILS, 7 right scan, 75. English County 3568, you're currently 3 miles from Boda. 989, report out power cancellation in the air. On this frequency on the ground on 124.75, frequency change approved. Plant 89, power cancellation received for airstrip permit, squawk GFR, frequency change approved. Contact Chicago approach 125.7. 125.7, so long, number 4534.
Hello, Squirrel. That was the TBM 850 that we were flying in. We're just kind of going past the terminals to see the other aircraft here. Welcome in. Unfortunately, we're ending the stream here, and we'll do another flight some other time.
No, 6,000 works for Executive 524 and direct to the field. And we're going to be requesting that RNAV down the road for 1-4. 524, Roger, you're going to request that with the next controller. 524, appreciate it.
Challenger 630 Alpha Romeo, 15-2 for 12,000 at Mauser.
Challenger 630 Alpha Romeo, Milwaukee approach, make altimeter 3007. After Mauser, we'll maintain 8,000, expect vectors to high.
Mr. Mauser, descend maintain 8,000, we'll expect vectors to Alpha Romeo.